In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to keep a conversation going with a woman for hours so that you never have to worry about running out of things to say ever again. Because let's be honest, man, we've all been there before. You're in the middle of a conversation, things are going fine, and then boom, what happens? Your mind blanks out and you don't know why. So, what happens? You overthink, you panic, and you feel the silence creeping in, and everything just gets kind of weird. Well, the good news is you don't run out of things to say because you're awkward or boring. It's simply because you don't have the right frameworks to fall back on. So, today I'm going to give you the three simple techniques that changed everything for me. And once you start using them, talking to people is going to feel incredibly easy. Starting with my favorite framework that you've probably never heard before, which is A.C.T. This is going to save you in any conversation and make you instantly more charismatic. I had the acronym for it, which I just told you, which is A.C.T. This stands for acknowledge, connect, and transition. Most guys only do the first part or they just ask a bunch of questions. They'll get an answer and she'll then say, "Oh, cool." And then the conversation dies right there on the spot. ACT is going to fix that. So let's say she tells you that she's from New York. Most guys freak out and think, "Uh-oh, what do I say now? Quick, think of something smart." And they try to be witty and just throw in some new thing in the conversation. Here's what I do instead. First, I acknowledge what she says by saying, "Oh, I love New York. I've actually been there a few times. Have you ever been to blank restaurant?" Do you see how that's smooth? Because she literally said two words, and yet I'm able to keep the conversation going. Now, this works because when you acknowledge, you are getting them to invest into the conversation and positively reinforcing that behavior. Next, you're connecting with them because you're making a relational point. Even if I've never been to New York, I can say, "Oh, I've heard great things about New York." All I'm doing is making some relational point because humans like to be connected to other people. And then I transition to keep the conversation going. That's how I can keep it going for hours on end. Now, I already know there's some nerd in the comments typing right now, like, "Why do I have to hold the conversation?" Or "She should be the one that has to invest more than just a few words." But let's face it, dude, if she's a 10 out of 10 stunning woman, she's got options. The gym trainer's trying to sleep with her. The guy bagging her groceries is trying to hit her up. The neighbor down the street is secretly in love with her. She's nonstop getting hit up. I mean, imagine her life for a second. Every time she walks down the street, she's got dudes that are staring at her. She opens social media, she's got a dozen DMs. Every time she goes to the bar, there's a line of guys trying to buy her a drink. If she gave every guy her undivided attention, she would have no life. So, yeah, she's not going to give you much in the first 30 seconds. And that's why most guys fail. Not because they're not talking to enough girls, but because they give up the moment that she doesn't shower them with attention right away. I mean, seriously, dude, come on, get a grip. If she's high quality, that means she's going to be guarded. It's normal. And by the way, if you want to get better at this stuff fast, like you want personal feedback and coaching on your exact situation from someone who's approached thousands of women and coached hundreds of guys around the world, then book a call with me and my team by clicking the link in the description, and I'll help you accelerate your results. Now, let's get into the real reason why most guys freeze up, and that is you're putting way too much pressure on yourself. You try so hard to avoid silence that your brain literally shuts off. But here's the thing, silence is only awkward if you think it is. Women don't care about these tiny pauses in the conversation. Most people don't care either. It's normal, it's natural. And the funny thing is, when a guy's actually comfortable with that silence, it becomes instantly attractive. Why? Because it shows that he's grounded in his energy. It signals that you're not needy, you're not trying to perform, and you're not trying to take value from the situation. You see, One of the biggest problems that guys have is they have this desperate energy of, please don't leave me, or please validate me. I need you in this conversation because it makes me feel better about myself. And women can feel that instantly. Look, they don't need you to be perfect. All they're looking for is whether this guy is grounded and centered and confident in who he is. Because here's the truth: if a woman senses that you need her, it's game over. You already lost. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you can't like a girl. That would be crazy. I'm just saying you can't show her that you need her in your life. Otherwise, it signals that you don't have your life together, that your life would crumble if she pulled away. And that signals weakness. Doesn't matter if you've been dating for 3 months, 6 months, or you're even married. Ultimately, she has to know that if push comes to shove, you would be willing to walk away. Now, let's talk about the real reason why conversations actually die, which is going to be this part. And no, it's not because you're boring, it's because your questions are boring. You ask, what do you do? Where are you from? Do you like your job? These questions require a one-word answer, so it's no wonder that your conversations fall apart. Instead, you should ask open-ended questions. One that require a little bit more of her thinking, a little bit more investment on her part. For example, one of my favorite questions to ask are why-based questions. Why are you passionate about that? Why did you make that decision in your life? Why is that so important to you? People light up when you ask them about why questions because it pulls out the stories, the emotions, and the true essence of a reason why someone does something. Next, I like to bring up topics I know people will be excited about. And let me tell you, it's not about what they do for work. Most people do not like what they do for work. What I like to talk about are hobbies, passions, and travel. Everyone loves to talk about these because it's what we actually care about. So next time you're talking to her, why don't you try asking, what's something that you're really excited about these days? If you could travel anywhere tomorrow, where would it be and why? What do you enjoy doing in your free time? These questions will get her to open up to you and allow you to connect with her on a deeper level. And after that, just follow the A.C.T formula to keep it flowing for hours. And by the way, if you want an even deeper breakdown on all this stuff, how attraction actually works, how to approach women in real life, how to build chemistry, and how to avoid the friend zone, I made a completely free training video for guys just like you. It's super in depth, and I guarantee you'll learn something you've never heard before. Click the link in the description and you can watch it. Look, the reality is conversations are not about being perfect. They're not about memorizing the perfect line or knowing the perfect moment. They're about creating flow. And once you stop putting all this pressure on yourself, once you master the ability to transition in conversations, once you start asking better questions, you'll realize that conversations are really not that hard. They're actually fun. And the more relaxed that you start to become, the more relaxed that she's going to be. And that is where attraction can build. You create that space that's needed for her to start chasing you. And that's how a connection forms. And it's how you stop feeling stuck, awkward, and tense around women. So try these techniques out this week. Like seriously, go talk to people. And if you want more help, everything you need is in the description. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.